Hello, my name's Warren, and I am here to discuss the sighting that I've seen here. I'm in Motte, Vermont, and it's my pleasure to bring this to you. I've been holding back on this for quite a while, and I have a photograph. This photograph is of the lake creature. I was on my way home from Winooski, coming back to Motte. I was in my little red car, and as I crossed the bridge, I was thinking about all the pictures I had taken of the flooding going on, and probably have a couple dozen of those at least. And I thought it'd be great to have a picture of the Motte sign, which the base of it was underwater, and the picture which I imagined I'd be able to also see that the road leading into Motte was over half in the water, and I thought it would be one of those kind of classic pictures that would kind of signify the Motte flooding. And so anyhow, I pulled over right near this monument and the Motte Christmas tree that has normally been getting lit in this little pullover area and parkway. Anyhow, I'm kind of facing northeast at this point. I just get out of the car and start walking northeast, and to my major surprise, see this creature appear out of the water, which looked to be 10 to 12 feet tall. Came up out of the water like this, and then looked me dead in the eye, and was there for about 3 seconds, and then went like this, went back in and right out again. And I'll tell you, I had shivers running up and down my spine after that. It was absolutely such a shocking moment. But the thing is, I've had a lot of these weird moments, and sometimes it's hard to get people to really believe you. It's kind of like the beliefs that you hold dear in your heart. So anyhow, like I said, I was about to take a picture of the sign, and God willing, I was very lucky, because I happened to be taking a picture, or about to, right at that moment. Had I gone out and actually been looking for a picture to take of this creature, I'm sure it would have never happened. I don't think anyone in history has ever gotten a picture while they were out looking for it. So, anyhow, I take the picture, and I get home and I realize it's a pretty good picture. I mean, as far as I've seen, it's the best out there, at least of anything in North America or Europe. And although there are some drawbacks, one of which is I had really thought that I'd never take anything that historical or that significant. So, and back then, memory on a card or whatnot for a camera was somewhat of an issue for me. I was conserving money and didn't want to take up a huge amount of space for an image when it really wasn't necessary. So I ended up getting a 1024 by 768 of this picture in a JPEG format. And although I think the coloration is very accurate of the colors in the sky and on the ground and whatnot, and of the creature that day, Thank God I hadn't taken it with my older camcorder camera, because I think the colors would have been awful. And anyhow, what I'd like to do now is I will share this picture with you, and there are a couple of finger smudge prints on this picture, and just handling the paper just before it's printed, so you're going to see a couple of kind of pinkish spots on it. But what you're going to see is the creature to the left. You're going to see mostly reflections in the water, not shadows, which is kind of an important thing. And you'll see the sign as I'd actually gone to shoot that day. It was really the sign and the flooding around it that I was interested in, along with the roadway. And anyhow, here's the picture. It's a little dark. I think it's a little darker than it is when I first pulled it up on the computer screen. So it does show a creature that is like a grayish green in color, and this is not unlike many thousands of people around the world have seen in these creatures in freshwater lakes and whatnot. I think that it's been seen by Sandra Mancy. Similarly, many sightings of the Loch Ness and other, I mean, there's been 400 documented sightings, over 400, in just this lake alone. So, yeah, there's, I mean, and they go back 400 years or 500 years, these sightings. So, yes, it looks very much like many other sightings. It looks very much like illustrations that have been made, I'm assuming, probably from skeletal remains, although they wouldn't know whether the creature was, what color it was, I suppose, unless they actually had eyewitness testimonies of what the coloration of the creature actually is. So, anyhow, it's my belief that this creature really does exist. This is one of 2 sightings I've had of this creature, astonishingly. I can hardly believe it myself that I've had 2 of these sightings. I suppose I shouldn't be that surprised. Samuel de Champlain, I believe, saw the creature 3 or 4 times, and he was a European settler of this area. So I think it's less common in the modern day. I don't know if it has anything to do with that. I have enjoyed the company of animals, dogs, cats. I did a little bit of study in veterinary before I got into doing applied science and physics, and that's what I got my degree in. And anyhow, this picture is 100% real, and I would welcome a professional to take a look at it. I'd welcome taking a polygraph a dozen times. I have, you know, just sharing it amongst friends, I've heard, you know, mixed responses. I suppose some people with a very scientific mind who have not experienced anything like this themselves cannot possibly imagine this actually happening. And in a way, I don't blame them. If they haven't experienced anything like this or anything out of the ordinary, how could they? I guess hard to imagine. But I will leave you at that. Today is September 16th, 2015, and it's been my pleasure to introduce you to the picture that is bound to make rounds all over the world. Thank you, and we'll talk to you soon.